Hah?
Dengan nakuti.
Tidak nakuti aku anjay.
Oh tuh kata perasaan kayak apa nak takut kayak apa? Kau di batu berarti kau ni.
Hah?
Man kau tak pernah merasa takut pojok mana?
Takut aku.
Apa awal sebelum mana?
Kalau Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Lagi streaming ini. Anjing opening udah tahu. Yang saya ini
Udah mulai.
Sudah.
Keman.
Berani ngecek mau hidup. Hidup. Tidak opening, tahu-tahu.
Subscriber kau tahu Acet tak?
Hah?
Tahu Acet tak?
Enggak, subscriber aku kawan aku galau.
Iyalah. Untung aku udah subscribe.
Lah aku dicengin kan internet.
Dem. Man.
Aman.
Apa nih? Aku
Ah,
pakai Madrid.
goblok. Langsung NBA dulu lah.
Aku pakai.
Gitu time-nya.
Kaget lah. Iya ya.
Iya. 6 menit. Dimulai. Namun ini bentar nih.
Singkau. 5 kali 4 20 menit.
Apa ya? NBA dulu lah anjing, langsung ke Madrid asu. Kiro ini flash langsung Madrid Barca. Pakai Kobe lagi teammate-nya itu loh.
Tapi aku bertanya,
Pakai Kobe teammate-nya.
apakah yang kau rasa? Dallas Ben.
Dallas solo carry Dallas sudah aman ke Dallas. Aman ke Dallas baru gak lakuin.
Aja lah.
Nah,
Iya. Bila aku katakan.
Anjing MPLS masa pengenalan lingkungan.
Tidak cari itu juga. Klasik home bell. Pengen.
Aku anjir rasa klasik home.
Iya ya.
Aku ganti.
Gitu. Salah aku tadi.
Klasik home. Enggak.
Lu kuning ya?
Iya, klasik home aku kuning. Maksudnya. Enggak ada sana. Okay.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm glad to have you with us for NBA basketball. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks.
And the Lakers going through their pregame routine. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for Dallas, Calderon is out there with Ellis, and Samuel Gallenberg manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the four-seam. And looking at
Controller aku paling vibrate. Salah. Terus settingnya. Tuh vibrate anjing, what the fuck.
the Lakers, Nash and Bryant in the back, and holding down the middle out of Central Michigan University, the skilled and ambidextrous 7-footer, Chris Kaman. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Gasol in at the four spot. Nash with the block. And here we go. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Goes up and lays it easy.
And he's on the board. The first to strike there. Nice hoop.
Here's Dallas. Ellis kicks to Dallenberg. Kaman's there. Dallenberg passes to Marion. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That is his first foul of the game.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Puts the lead pass in front of him. That one goes. Count.
And he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
And the consistency of his jump shot is another thing we should say about him. I mean, it doesn't matter how many defenders are flying at him, his stroke is never changing. And you really can't say the Mavericks were a bad team last year. They were just a little below par compared to what we've been accustomed to. They just were not nearly as deadly offensively and that's always a recipe for struggles in the West.
It's Marion with the drive, and he goes in for the dunk. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Some nice passing here by Dallas, and stolen by Nash. And now the fast break. Nash with the ball. Slam home, and he draws the foul. Chance for another point at the free throw line. Samuel Gallenberg picks one up.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
The offensive rebound. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. A chance now to go to Dorisburg, who had a chance to talk with Rick Carlisle.
Obviously, we talked about Steve Nash because you can't argue he's one of the best point guards over the past few decades. Coach told me that Nash's ability to control tempo, to get everyone involved, and to communicate so seamlessly with his teammates is what makes him so dangerous.
Thanks, Doris. Tries again. Nice shot by Gallenberg.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and you know, that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
Now here's Gasol. And the foul on Monte Ellis. That is his first foul of the game. Brandon Wright's checked in for Dallas. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Outside, Kobe. Blanketed by the D, fights to the rim for the layup.
Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. You know, a lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid, who's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
Clark, I'm guessing that wasn't him for the D on that trip.
I'm agreeing with you there. Once they opened the lane up for him, that was a little emphasis on that thing.
Take what the defense gives you and then just power it home, right? Why not?
You know, for a guy his size, he doesn't play above the rim very often like he did on that side.
Still had some power behind him, though.
Yeah, I mean, you let him get in close like that, he'll throw one down hard on him.
When you talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient in scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was, stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive.
Los Angeles leading by 5. Nash hits to Young. It's hauled in by Jose Calderon.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy.
And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Lakers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And they're getting out in transition, too, finding some easy points on the fast break.
And Wesley Johnson with the slam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
He hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action. Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
Here's Blake. Soft touch off the glass. Blake's got his first points in this one.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys. I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too good a look to pass up.
Hill drives in. And a great assist by Farmore as that one goes in.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Blake kicks to Johnson. Stolen by Ellis. Pass to Harris. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That's his first foul. 6 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's White. 1 second left.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
The Mavericks shooting their first foul shot of the game.
So they were very pleased with their free throw numbers a year ago. They knocked down about 79% from the strike of the team.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made...
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment.
In many ways, the Lakers had what would be called the nightmare season in 12-13. Despite that, they protected Staples. Playing in front of the Hollywood Stars has always been an energy boost for the Lakers. They made the most of it, even though they struggled away from home.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, gentlemen, the Lakers barely squeezed into the playoffs last season. Despite that, they had the largest luxury tax bill in the league, almost $30 billion, more than double the next highest team in the Miami Heat. So, maybe one silver lining for them with Dwight Howard deciding to move to Houston, the team won't have to shoulder the even more punitive taxes that began this season. Kevin?
Good point, Doris. Thanks. Samuel Dallenberg, who's checked in for Dallas. And good on the basket. Blake's got 5 points so far. Clark, as you said with the Lakers, very good at home last season in what would be one of their very few bright spots on the year. They're 29-12 in Staples Center, which he put them in the top third of the league for home wins.
Well, Kevin, when you come into Staples as a visitor for a Lakers game, there really is a kind of a different feel. I mean, if you're the opponent, you look up at all those banners, you look over at all the celebrities on the side, you know, that theater lighting. It's a pretty cool spot, and the team sometimes, I think, can kind of get carried away.
Well, they recover it. Johnson with it. Devin Harris covering. Kicks it out to Johnson. Lakers working the ball around now. Here's Farmar. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did it, preventing the and one. Everybody knows how brutal the Western Conference can be. And part of the reason the Lakers were able to make it to the playoffs is because they were above 500 in the West, which is pretty impressive.
Harris kicks to Carter. And the call goes against Wesley Johnson. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Well, going back to the Lakers in the West, they would end with a 28-24 record, Steve, against the rest of the conference. That record falling right in line where they finished in relation to the rest of the West.
Well, that record was really the big reason that they were able to catch up to Utah and end up passing for the last playoff spot. And, you know, Laker fans might not be happy with how quickly they exited the postseason, getting swept by the Spurs, but you know, they did make a good push at the end of the season just to get in.
Shot by Marion, no good.
Their offense seems completely out of sync here. They're on the wrong end of a big run.
And at the other end, it's been bucket after bucket after bucket, giving up a huge run here. You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball.
Physical play in the paint, dominating.
You know, the hope was that a change of scenery and a chance to run up and down the wings would be just what was needed to get Wesley Johnson going in the NBA, but that just didn't happen for him last season.
Blake dishes to Hill. Lays it up and banks it in. Hill's got 6 in the quarter.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
Marion. And Sean Marion again missing. And for Wes Johnson, the 4th overall pick back in 2010 out of Syracuse, he just hasn't been able, Steve, to break through.
Yeah, you wonder why, because he's got great size and athleticism, beautiful shooting stroke, and yet the shooting numbers just aren't there. So I thought he would be better coming into this league, but we'll see if he's able to develop and find a niche somewhere.
It was a rough year for the Mavs and their fans. The first time since 2012 the Mavericks found themselves out of the playoffs. Big reason why was they couldn't get the wins they needed on the road.
And back to the Mavs, 17-24 record on the road. You'll see their struggles as the visiting team. You know, one of the reasons why they're only a 500 team on the season at 41-41.
And even though going 500 isn't a bad year for most, it is when you're the Dallas Mavericks and you're used to playing in the postseason. This was the first time in a long time, in forever, that the Mavs didn't end up in the playoffs.
A leader with the block.
Gila terbang deh Mas.
Ayo.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Guys, though the Dallas Mavericks weren't able to lure Dwight Howard, they did sign a good starting point guard in Jose Calderon. A great floor general, good passer, solid shooter. He's a player they've been intrigued with for years. We'll see if he can help them get back in the playoff picture. Kevin?
Yeah, good situation for him.
Main 3
Thanks,
menit tadi
Doris.
lah bonus
You know,
dari
the
tadi.
Mavs, like many teams, are always aware of who the free agents are that might help them become better. And prior to last season, they made sure they got their finances in order to make a run at Darren Williams to bring him home. They did the same thing this last
Saya
offseason.
saja, aku dah suka nasi.
Itu juga ada ekspektasi.
Sorry,
Ih, bersama.
Here's Los Angeles now. They're on an 18-6 run. And Gasol slams it in.
Finding the open man every trip down the floor.
It certainly seems like he's doing that, Steve. I mean, it's been a great passing day for him.
And for the Mavs, they know that in order for them to remain competitive and not go through a traditional rebuilding phase where they're going to finish, you know, at the bottom for a few years, you know, Steve, they're going to have to lure some free agents.
And one way or another, their top brass has always made sure that they would be able to move contracts around, make an offer to whatever big-name player was out there. But think about it, the last 2 years they had unlimited cap room, unable to lure that big free agent fish to Dallas. All game long, guys, he's been getting it done, really doing a nice job rebounding.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, they've had a major advantage on the glass, dominating that stack.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because it poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
No good from outside.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
Here's Ellis.
Yang kuri terakhir yang
There's 21 seconds left now here in the second. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That's foul number 2 for him.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
itu kosong.
And that'll increase their rebound.
This has been a one-sided game just about every area. The lead continues to grow.
Absolutely, their offense and their D have been equal parts outstanding.
Nowitzki for 3. So as we conclude the first half, so far,
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's up to
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
the busy streets of Los Angeles, lighting up the night sky as we continue. And what about Pau Gasol? I mean, he's been sensational.
Clay created a lot of opportunities for himself in the first couple of quarters. And tell you what, he was smart with his shot making too. Really took good ones.
You know, points per shot attempted is really one of the undervalued stats in the game, and it's a real measurement of efficient scoring. Well, last season was Dirk Nowitzki's 15th in the NBA and maybe his toughest. He underwent a knee scope right before the start of the season, missed about 2 months of action, and the Mavericks ended up missing the playoffs.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, the defender draped all over.
Pretty plain and simple. Got it good there.
Speaking of Nowitzki, he expressed some concern about the direction of the Mavericks themselves last year.
Yeah, after that championship season, they let go of some of their good players, you know, especially Tyson Chandler. But they were trying to free up cap space and lure a top free agent. They were left holding the bag, basically. But Nowitzki wants to retire a Mav, and hopefully they can provide a contender for him.
Backing down is Bryant. Back to Young. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by Nowitzki. Mavericks trailed by 21. Fast break, Dallas. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant.
Well, one thing you'll notice about him right away is that he's the first one to hit the deck on a loose ball. Plays so hard with relentless energy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I feel like whenever we see this guy, his jersey is torn up. He's got bruises all over him. He's just a rugged player and a guy you love having on your team.
Dallas making a switch here. Lights checked in.
Been a cold spell for them coming out of the half, missing their first 3 shots. A tough start.
And it's good. Calderon's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Lakers leading by 17.
Well, you look at the Lakers' struggles last season, I think it surprised most of us. You know, some of it was injuries. Part of it was just a lack of production off the bench. Then there was the inconsistency of the coaching and just the number of different difficult season for the Lakers.
Ellis, the pass to right, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they move goaltender.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that was
A very unpopular call.
To go. And you look at the struggles of the Lakers bench last season. When injury struck, they didn't have the players really to fill that void.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I think for the Lakers, the bold strokes for the star players have been impressive, but it's the fine details of finding undervalued role players. That's where they've been lacking. Once injuries happen, that was thrown into sharp relief. And really, even when healthy, to win a title, you can't just have a great starting 5. We know that. You need another 4 or 5 players you can count on to give you quality minutes.
Boy, they've looked good in the open floor today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Well, they've been doing the right thing, Steve. Anytime they've had numbers, they've gone straight up court with it right away. Boom.
Back to Mary. He feeds it to right, and stolen by Kamen. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
No hesitation at all on that alley-oop. Saw his teammate with the path to the hoop, and bang! Lobbed it right up there for him.
And he was ready for it, elevated, made the catch. You saw the result.
And I like the choice, making the conservative finish, making sure of the 2 points.
Bryant. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Impressive play there. They have been really good offensively.
Piling up the points en route to this big lead, guys. I mean, they've been unstoppable. You know, it's interesting. Part of the reason Nash struggled getting used to playing with the Lakers is because he was always the guy making the offense go. The offense ran through him with his prior teams. You know, at one point in his career, Nash was known more for his shooting than anything else. An interesting turnabout in his career.
Their field goal percentage continues to climb. They've really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense. I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
And Kobe Bryant again. Kobe's got 25 points. And for Steve Nash, one of the great playmakers and pick-and-roll operators in the history. And Steve, you think it makes sense for the Lakers to take him off the ball?
Well, it just depends on what the rest of the roster looks like. But last season, because they really didn't want to run their offense through their bigs inside, they forced the ball into Kobe Bryant's hands more. And Nash became more of a spot-up shooter as a result.
That's good.
Nicely done. They just continue to dominate inside. That's 10 points in a row in the lane.
It's now purely, here it comes. See if you can stop it.
Calderon, no good.
Such a solid performance for them inside. The rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today. Well, how about Kobe in this one? 25 points and 4 assists. He is in complete control of this game.
Yeah, it's just going his way. Everything falling into place.
This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Chris Kamen. And pushing it out, here's Los Angeles. Hill leading the charge. Here's Gasol, and the shot is good. Gasol's got 13.
Good job there, recognizing the mismatch and then just going straight up with the shot. He's got a major height advantage.
You know, he might be small for a center, But it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
Big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolute idiots. So let's hope the decision makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the, let's say, the more clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Jay Crowder's checked in for the Mavericks. Crowder comes in for Sean Marion. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Gasol. Blocked.
Ngebakas tuh. Apa dia itu? Jelek nih Ian.
Here's Crowder, guarded by Blake. And that one's good. Wright's got 6 here in this quarter.
Unselfish basketball on the interior. I love that, and you got to think the coaching staff does too.
Blake kicks to Young. Three-pointer gets it to go. Young's got 11 points. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout.
Lagi kalau kejauhan harus
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. What do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Los Angeles?
And they continue to run and gun throughout the game, guys.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively. They've been turning those turnovers into points.
Saweria, good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Saweria got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Lakers. Harris dishes to Crowder. And Hill with the block. It's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here.
Mas Jordan Hill.
Tries a three off the inbound.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense. But an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Ellington kicks to James. It's intercepted. And it's the Lakers on the break. Now the dish to James.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
Thanks, Mark. On the dunk.
Guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Dallas making a switch here. Calderon's checked in. Johnson attacking. No good. Now Dallas takes it the other way. Here's Gasol. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Dallas has their hands full guarding against Gasol.
13 points, and he was able to come up with one steal, too.
Yeah, he's defending very well, Clark. He's disrupting the offense. He's trying to put as much pressure on as possible.
Dirk Nowitzki's checked in for James.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Farmar kicks to Saka. Good. And Farmar gets the assist. Farmar's got his fourth assist in this one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Here's Gasol. That's good.
He is feeling a terrific percentage from the field.
Dallas has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Dallas again missing.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
Now, I'll tell you what, they've turned a lot of those rebounds into points at the other end. They haven't exactly been shy about letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
You know, Steve, if you have the lead, you can afford to be a little comfortable with the three-point shot. You just don't want to fall too much in love with it.
Farmar passes it to Saweria. Lays it up and in off the prettiest. Saweria has got 8 here in the quarter.
Boy, it's been a poor defensive effort. When that ball has gone inside, into the post, they've been in trouble.
Yep, points in the paint clearly going against them now.
Well, he did have a three-pointer in the first half, but so far here in the second, he's come up empty.
Blake dishes to Johnson. It's stolen by
Itu nah, itu
Carter.
kanan,
And now
kanan,
it's
itu
Ellington
kanan.
running. He can go all the way. There's Carter. Offensive rebound. The second chance
Malah
effort.
ngesut.
And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Kenapa dia lari-lari? Kamera.
Part of the reason that they're down is that they haven't been as strong in the paint here. I mean, when you have the opportunity to get the ball inside and score close to the rim,
Kalau
that's
back
what you
lah,
got to take
back
advantage of.
segala macam.
Catching up on the changes
Mujur
for
keluar.
Dallas. James checked in for Carter.
Capek
And
juga.
Devin Harris is subbed in for Jose Calderon.
ya.
That's good.
Nice pass. That was right on target, Jay.
LA has gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Johnson kicks to Gasol.
Ngelamun deh.
Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
Time to turn out the lights on this game.
I think they deserve a ton of credit for the way they played here today. Truly a professional display.
Harris outside.
Mentalitas final yang
Here's Ellington. Shot is off. Great D that time from Johnson. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
Excellent display of team play.
Steve, I know you love great teamwork.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch when the ball is moving. There's kind of a rhythm to the game that just happens. The ball moves almost on its own, Kevin. It's fun to watch.
Sacre kicks to Johnson. And another three for the Lakers.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
James left side. Harris misses.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. And they were right in his face.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on
berapa
Bernard
detik
James.
lagi ini ngabisin dulu.
And that'll be his third foul so far.
That's just a flat frustration foul right there.
Boy, down like they are, he just took it out on his opponent. I mean, you've got to keep your composure. I don't think that was one of his best moments.
Dewan Blair. He's checked in for Dallas.
Pos. Pos deh.
He's against
Pos.
Hill.
Ini nggak coach.
Puts up the baby hook. And Blair gets it to go.
Nah, kan ke farmer sini.
And the Lakers with possession here. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock.
Ribon.
Dallas is
Probably time to just say it, guys. This game is over.
I think you're right on target there.
now Johnson. Kicks to Farmer. Back to Johnson. And that one misses. He doesn't get the second one. Here's Crowder. Off on that one. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here.
Gaso bro.
Hah? Oh gaso. Anjing ribonnya. Nggak terasa.
Berapa bro?
8.000. Apa? Kau tuh yang baca 3 point. Yang baca 3 point.
Aku pakai nis kayak kau bosen.
Ya udah apa-apa anjir.
Ayo.
Berarti musuhnya ini. Berimbang. Putih kan nih.
Gitu. Oke ini weh.
Mana we believe warrior. Ah, we believe warrior.
Hello and welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce, and it's time
We
for a
believe
little
warrior.
NBA.
We believe warrior.
Our starting lineup, so look at the matchups here. And who will see for our starting teams. First for the Knicks, Felton is out there with the Manship. And in the middle, the 2012 Defensive Player of the Year, 7'1" rebounding shot blocker and leader Tyson Chandler. Then it's Anthony, and it's Bargnani in at the power forward. And for Golden State, Curry and Johnson, the splash brothers in the backcourt. And at the pivot, a terrific defender and all-around player, the Australian sensation, 7-footer, Andrew Bogut. And there's him out, and it's Lee in at the 4 slot.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Ini yang Bogut plus tadi.
Ditarik anjing.
Here's Curry. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
A short time ago, Mike Woodson and I were able to catch up. He said one of the key points for them defensively will be limiting the production of David Lee, adding he's a guy who can score inside and out, plays with great energy, and his passing really opens up their whole offense. We've got to keep him off the glass and always see ball and man when he's got it. Basketball 101, Kevin. We'll see if they can execute.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
Well, for Andrea Bargnani, only 35 games played last season, guys. Injuries and inconsistency have really plagued the former #1 overall pick of the 2006 draft. He really made that mismatch pay off. A defender giving up that much size isn't going to be able to put up much resistance near the basket.
Tore it down that time.
It's not possible what we just
Apa nafas aja baru berlari.
Disebut itu puncak komedi itu aja.
It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark. Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
And for the Warriors, unusual for a playoff team to be giving minutes to 3 or even 4.
Bau nggak lo cari
That was
3-poinnya?
the case last season. Barnes, Azili,
Iguodala di
Green,
belakang sini
they
sudah.
brought in a rookie group with maturity that had done a good job of preparing themselves at the collegiate level, and all of them
Iguodala di kiri
produced.
tuh, Iguodala di kiri tuh.
pass to Iguodala. Just pass. Nice catch and a resounding dunk.
Man, he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic
Sangkatan,
is really
sangkatan
strong.
sama LeBron.
And also, he's absolutely able to
Tapi
do
kan
some
LeBron dari
incredible
SMA.
things in the air. I mean, he can look like a gymnast sometimes,
Kuliah ada.
twisting his body.
Penasaran aja aku. Kuliah ada dia.
2003 ya sama.
2003 sama. Tapi umur dia
LeBron 2003 atau 2002?
2003 saya sini. 11 kurang 29, 11 kurang 29. 18 anjir. Oh sama dengan LeBron berarti sama-sama
Double
SMA.
clutch shot, but he maintains a smooth approach to it all.
Heads up play on both ends there. Transition basketball, the steal and the quick
Beda lah.
Steve, that's how it should be played. I mean, rapid fire basketball.
And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. And for the Warriors, rookies last season, Steve, they got an early start. They were in the team gym from the earliest days after the draft.
Well, this is a club that has great chemistry. Some of that has to do with Mark Jackson. A lot of it has to do with just the quality of people that they put on that roster. But it's an exciting young team with a good coach and a great crowd. I think the Warriors have a very bright future.
Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Two-way player of the best.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
You know, one of the big things that Iman Shumpert brings to the team is his pressure defensively on the perimeter. When you have a guard like him who can go out and bother ball handlers, it can really take an opponent out of its offense.
Catching up on the changes for New York.
Lewat dulu.
Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Chandler. And J.R. Smith subbed in for Bargnani. And Shumpert had that ACL tear in the 2012 playoffs, but after missing the first month and a half, I thought he bounced back pretty well.
I'd say he did. I mean, there was some concern. His game is really predicated on his athleticism at this point, but he looked pretty good. Not a great outside shooter, but
Tidak
he cut his
mencerminkan.
turnovers down and showed he could still elevate for some spectacular finishes and was not bad shooting the ball from the free
Ah,
throw.
belum tentu lah kan.
Got a piece of it. And world peace kicks to Stoudemire.
Pada masuk tadi.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter
Winning.
down low. I
Winning
like
tryhard.
that.
Yeah, me too,
No.
Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball
Twice.
inside, you've got to continue to go to the well.
Not twice, not twice.
Curry passes to Barnes. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Harrison Barnes nih bos.
Curry's got his fifth assist in this one.
Hebat Harrison Barnes, sayang nggak ya satu buang.
Smith kicks to Anthony. Right at the free throw line. And he gets the jumper to drop.
Boy, it was an impressive turnaround for Mark
Karena
Jackson
masuk duluan.
and the Warriors last season. I mean,
Tangannya,
his promise
ya
of making
Allah,
the
itu
playoffs
bola
didn't come
biasanya.
together in his first season at the controls,
Thank
but in
you.
year two, they got it done. I tell you what, most thought Mark would be a really outstanding coach, and he's well on his way to making that a reality.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Spates checked in for Lee. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Klay Thompson. And it's world peace missing. Warriors leading by 6.
Wait a minute. Ini Mamat yang lupa itu.
Here's Stoudemire, and he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion, so he'll head to the free throw line. And for Mark Jackson, there have been some questions. He had never spent time as a coach, even as an assistant. I guess the question was, Steve, would he be able to take over the reins as a head coach?
Well, the biggest thing you want to do as an NBA coach is have your players buy into what you're selling, and Mark Jackson's been able to do that. His players believe in him. He motivates them. They like playing for him. And that's most of the battle right there.
And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. So that's a free basket right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And Udrich kicks to Anthony. The dish to Stoudemire. And it's Healy with the block. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
And Udrich pitch to Smith. J.R. Smith on the wing. Fires from deep. Can't get it to go. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first.
Habis detik.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's get your take, guys, and the hustle stats for the Warriors.
It looks like they're ready to run, fellas. I mean, they haven't hesitated at all to get out on the break so far.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, one of the best motivators in all the NBA is doubt, and the Warriors had plenty of that prior to last season. Coach Jackson made sure to use it to their advantage. He would post up where the media predicted them to finish, usually near the bottom of the West. It helped them play with an edge, as David Lee said. That's why we're going to go out there every single night and play with a chip on our shoulder and try to prove somebody wrong. I doubt we'll have that same resource this season, given how they finish, guys.
Right about that. Thanks, Doris. And the three ball is good. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
J.R. Smith, last season's sixth man of the year, averaging 18 points per game off the bench for the Knicks. What a fantastic season. Boy, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Curry attacking space to the middle. Outside for Curry. Eyes again. Azili dishes to Curry. The pass to Barnes. And they have their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. Smith for 3. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And New York making a change here. Warriors leading by 5. Iguodala with it. Now guarded by Hardaway. They grab their own miss. And there's the call on Chandler. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
That's the risky run by staying out there as he picks up his 3rd.
Lee kicks to Iguodala. It's stolen by Smith.
You know, it's quite surprising to see them leading at this point, given the number of turnovers they've already committed.
No question. There's been some good and some bad from them in the first half, but they need to tighten things up here.
A lot of high hopes for the Knicks in last year's playoffs. They started off so hot, but then let the series against Boston drag on, and eventually went to 7 games. And they fell to the Pacers in the second round after that.
Carmelo Anthony is checked in for New York. And that's collected by Bogut. Bogut's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And the jam by Iguodala. And the Warriors lead by 7. New York's gone 1-3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And the Boston series did drag out, as you can tell. You wonder if they were a bit fatigued going into that Pacers series. Steve Indiana just outplayed him, outworked him.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And the Warriors making a change here. Thompson's checked in. Knicks trailed by 11. Here's Anthony. A stupendous finish in traffic. Anthony's got 8 points.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, guys, Andrea Bargnani, the #1 overall pick back in 2006, but he's wasn't a star caliber player in the NBA. Injuries have played a role, certainly, but his defense and rebounding have been the biggest problems. A former coach of his with the Raptors said it just didn't seem like he had enough passion for the game, that it wasn't important enough to him. Some pretty harsh words, but guys, sometimes for 7-footers, the game finds them. And defense and rebounding, certainly not the glamorous parts of this game. Kevin, we'll see if he ever realizes his potential.
And hope for the best. Thanks, Doris.
Well, the Warriors going to the playoffs last season for just the second time in 19 seasons, guys. Pretty incredible and remarkable, too. But it seems, as Mark Jackson said, that things be a-changing in the Bay Area, and for the better.
And for the Warriors, a scrappy, hard-fought win over the Denver Nuggets in 6 games. They also, Steve, gave the Spurs a lot of trouble in the second round.
They sure did. That series might have turned out a lot different if they hadn't collapsed in game 1. But the Warriors showed tremendous resilience in bouncing back and really making that series so competitive.
It's Curry with the drive. Thompson from long range. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
And assists like that solidify their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now they're finally starting to shoot the ball a little bit better now.
You know, I thought this was the kind of play they needed in the first quarter, but as I always like to say, it's better late than never.
A drive by Iguodala. Lee. And a missed layup. 30 seconds left here in the second. Smith right side. He feeds it to Carmelo. But they'll get another chance. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
17 seconds left in the second quarter. Curry gets the screen from Lee. Curry kicks to Thompson. No good on the 3. And here comes Felton. Back to Shumpert. Takes the 3. Shot's good. Shumpert's got 6 points in the quarter. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Warriors ahead.
Now, presented
Halo
by
bang, baru selesai
Sprint.
Mang CS. Sit up sesuai skor musuh masing-masing. Mata kau 100.
Halftime report presented by
Sit up
Sprint.
sesuai skor yang kalah.
And as we return, a
100
lovely view of
aing,
downtown
goblok.
San Francisco.
Bagi dua,
Heading over the Embarcadero and the Bay Bridge.
Jangan anjing, tidak cowok.
Tremendous output from Iguodala.
Sedang libur,
He has
Jalen,
17
sedang libur.
points, and he's made some good decisions with the basketball, too.
Well, being smart is what it's all about for him, Clark.
Cuk, aku
He's a
kemarin nanti
decision
50
maker.
kali
He's a
pakai.
playmaker. He has to make
Aku
the
dan
decision.
lagi tidak
That's what
lagi.
he's doing here so far.
Bogut. And there's a whistle that goes on him on Shumpert.
Pleng
That is
aja.
his first foul of the game.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call.
Kawan
This
aku yang
play can be
menolak.
tough to judge sometimes.
Si Dwi yang
No
menolak.
good. Knicks trail by 4.
pengennya kayak itu.
You know, guys, Carmelo Anthony last year
Kan
played
rencana
pretty
COD
much
kita begitu
full
tuh.
time
Cuman
at
beda
the power
cerita.
forward position,
Nanti lah
and the results were excellent. I mean, he's got the strength to play inside, and when you look at what he does offensively, it creates a lot of matchup advantages for him and his team. He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
And the champ by Iguodala.
Great job of attacking on the rim.
Yeah, it sure was. He made a beeline for the bucket as soon as they got the ball. Right away, straight to the rim.
Kedapatan kayak
Chandler with the ball. Guarded now by Andrew Bogut. Anthony kicks to Felton. Now Chandler inside. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got his 4th assist in this one. And when you look at Carmelo, do you think, Steve, maybe the success that LeBron had going inside and playing the 4, any influence on Melo playing inside?
I think there's no doubt, Kevin. The league has gone smaller in a lot of ways. A lot of former 3 men are now becoming 4s. The only way to do that, though, is if you have the strength to players, and Melo certainly has that strength.
Vasili's checked in for Andrew Bogut. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Anthony's shot is off.
Just an enormous advantage for them on the floor.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying hard to get back to this team like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure.
And good on the basket. Book it. And it's 6 points for Tyson Chandler.
Sharp pass to give his teammate a high percentage shot in close.
You know, for a long time, the Knicks were viewed as a young team on the rise, but when they added Rasheed Wallace last year, the average age went to 32, which was the oldest team in the league last season. And you saw it in their play. They were a group of veterans out there.
It's rebounded by New York.
Merah nih pemain.
Felton kicks to shot. Here's Anthony.
Baca dulu nyari
The shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Well, there's a reason he's one of the top scorers in the league. Melo is so versatile offensively. He gets in that triple threat position, and then it's a kind of a pick-your-poison dilemma for the defender.
Well, he's got a honey sweet stroke as a jump shooter. He's equally dangerous putting it on the ground or attacking the teeth of the D or going over top of a good defender. We've seen it all the way back at Syracuse. This guy has gotten better with time, and he's one of the elite scorers we've seen in the league.
How about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
They have found their groove from deep, Steve.
And for the Knicks, the veteran leadership helped them at times as they had to go through some very tough stretches, Steve, due to injury.
Yeah, they did go through some stretches, but they really did well to secure the division title and get that high seed going into the playoffs. A pretty decent run all in all, but this is a team that has higher aspirations than just getting to the conference semis.
Spates checked in for David Lee.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
So, you know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
Out of bounds, Knicks ball as New York takes possession. A different look for New York. World Peace comes in for Bargnani. And it's Udrich in for Iman Shumpert. Kicks to Udrich. Some nice passing by New York here. Outside World Peace. Here's Chandler. Banked in off the glass. Chandler's got 8 points.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Well, that's important because this game, I think, is going to be decided by who controls the paint in crunch time.
Jadi 3 point komen 2 point terus balik aja sekarang.
Hit from anywhere on the floor. In the gym range.
Gak ada aku masih speed aku itu sih.
Mid-range jumpers are like layups here. And inside, he's got the floater finger roll and the runner. You always expect his shots to go in. It's like watching a game of horse at full speed and the highest stakes are on the line. Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
But there was some style there, Kev. It was a pretty sweet one-handed flush.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. That's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
And Steve, shooting no doubt Curry is fortunate. He narrowly missed the All-Star game last season. I mean, I can't believe he didn't get elected, and he seemed to be the one glaring miss. Where, when you watch this game, where can he improve?
I think offensively, he's got the whole package. I think it's at the other end of the floor where he can probably improve. He needs to compete a little bit more defensively, but that's tough to do when you're handling so much of the offensive load for your team. But he's got to find a little more balance, I think, between his offense and his defense.
And a slam dunk by Smith. That's bringing it down hard. It's Anthony with the drive. Lee with the block. And they're able to recover. For three, Smith. Here's Stoudemire. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
With one on the clock. All that time on the way up. That'll give them two chances at the free throw line here.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
Satu lah. Masih kena ring juga
And
anjir.
a great show through
Berarti ada
three
kemungkinan
quarters.
masuk itu.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
And they continue to run and gun throughout the game, guys.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Warriors leading by 4. And Curry, here we go. Back to Iguodala. It's taken away by Smith. Inside Felton. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. 7 points for Raymond Felton.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
And there's the call on Chandler. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. David Lee checked in for Golden State. Iguodala the pass to Lee. Chandler with the steal. Stoudemire kicks to Smith. Here's shot.
They finally fought all the way back to even the score. We're back to square one. Whole new ball game.
And with a comeback like that, they've definitely got the upper hand going forward.
Carmelo Anthony's checked in for the Knicks.
Well, Shumpert's one of the best athletes in the league. That's saying something. These are the best athletes in the world out here, Kevin. But at 6'5" and 220, he's got the strength and quickness to really be an elite defender.
Yeah, strength and quickness for sure. You see that in his steals number, Steve. The offense is still a work in progress here, but he is already a very, very good perimeter defender.
You know, the Warriors made big strides last year, and part of it was a retooling of the team. But they also got a lot of help from the group of rookies that they had, and a number of those rookies played prominent roles down the stretch and in the playoffs.
Back to Felton, outside jumper. Passes it to Chandler. Goes back up.
His 4th foul, and I'm sure he picked it up a little earlier than he would have liked.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Good game for Chandler. He has 8 points and a steal.
Well, Clark, as you said, the Warriors did lean on their rookies as the season went on. 4 of them in all, with 3 coming in the draft.
Talk about putting something extra. That comes way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, it's startling that he'd even try that right now.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
The bump in the foot. What a play. That free throw from Lee is good. Knicks trailed by 4. Curry brings the double. Chandler dishes to Felton. New York moving the ball around. Deflects the pass. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Stoudemire setting the pick for Chandler. And that one's good. 16 points for Carmelo Anthony.
They
balik
can't
dah
afford to
sih
give him
anjing
that
mah ada
kind
3
of
pointer
look.
kaca
Well, it
3
came
gol.
off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mark Jackson was going over with his team. He told them, this is it, fellas. Let's hit them right out of this timeout. Put some pressure on them. Show them how much you want. Let's go get it. Guys, he's really exhorting them to give them a burst of energy.
No, kena badan.
And Thompson kicks to Kirk. And the Warriors miss again.
Karena kamu mau
Well, it's
3
just been one of those kind of games for him.
And Anthony gets it to go on the assist by Shumpert. Shumpert's got 4 assists in the game. Mark and Steve, neither team with a big advantage here in the fourth quarter.
5 times we've had the lead switch so far. I mean, back and forth we go.
Yeah, and I think that total could rise, Clark, because they're two evenly matched teams playing a tough game.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for New York.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive. Attacking and coming away with steals.
And guys, the thing that jumps out at me is their block shots. I mean, they're playing up on the shooters tightly, and then they're sending them packing. I mean, putting those shots in reverse, all in a clear, good day's work.
Felton the pass to Stoudemire. And that comes
Tidak
off the
diganggu,
assist by
biasanya udah
Ronnie
masuk
Felton.
itu.
That's 10 points for Amari Stoudemire.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Curry attacking, gets it to go. And he's now got the double-double. 11 points and 12 assists.
I love it when a player like this shakes off a poor first half and comes back strong like he has, showing a lot of confidence in his game.
That
Terus
drops.
anjir lah diangkat itu.
21 points for Carmelo Anthony.
No,
He was
dia
showing
kalah.
some kind of a killer instinct this quarter, trying to stretch this lead out.
Thompson for 3. That's good.
Cepet aku rilis tadi. Coba.
Yeah, terrific. Great back and forth
Cepetan rilis
sequence
aku
right
tadi.
there.
Chandler dishes to Felton. The feed to Stoudemire.
Udah lah sih.
Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Arnani has
Gampang lah
connected
minta
with
itu tuh
Stoudemire.
masuk. Masing.
1:30 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Curry kicks to Thompson. Iguodala. And stolen by Felton. And here is the fast break. Felton leading the way. Oh, and a jam by Anthony.
Udah
You can see the eye
terganggu.
contact there. Gave a little nod and then
Let's go,
burst
let's go,
to
let's
the
go.
rim for the alley-oop slam.
Itu
No doubt,
kosong.
Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific
Lambat
feed
mereka.
for each other
Nggak
on the
masuk.
floor.
And what a play to make it a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Big time bucket there, Clark.
And Kevin, the crowd is loving it.
Well, they know exactly how big that shot was.
New York's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Bargnani kicks to Chandler.
Anjir. Gitu
The
anjir.
defender was on him like glue.
No,
all
this
up in
thing.
his airspace. That's a very low
Meng,
percentage
still,
shot
yeah.
against that kind of deal.
Yeah, you're right. Best not to force it when you get someone draped all over you like that. You got to move the
Nggak bisa
ball.
gitu
And
anjir.
stolen by Amon Shumpert.
What the
Chandler
fuck?
kicks to Anthony.
This is what happens when you allow Carmelo Anthony to heat up.
The Warriors have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter session. And the chip by David Lee.
Belum anjir.
That is a clutch shot. Yeah, very gutsy there. What more can you say? He got it done at the best time.
Curry kicks to Thompson. The shot is off. And New York the other way now. Guys are not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time. Milk the clock.
Go, let's go. Masih ada kan timer.
Their defense making it get more
Belum
clear late now.
And straight off the steal, Clark, a perfectly run fast break ends in a slam dunk.
That could be a huge 4-point swing in this game.
Felton kicks to Shumpert. Now Chandler
kosong.
inside. Sinks it.
Big bucket. You got to play for a stop here with a 2-point lead.
Udah pengen tri. Jelek sama tri ya. Lihat caranya.
17 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Langsung clutch ya.
Iguodala, the pass to Lee. Leads him in there. Bogut. And they will
Sorry,
go
guys,
for the
nggak
basket here, folks, as they run goaltender.
Playing hard, but you got
Yang
to
mana?
play smart too. Get there too late. That's a big whistle.
New York calls timeout.
Kan UT game winner ini anjing.
Anthony kicks
No.
to Barnett.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the three ball, that really can spread the defense and extend the defense as well.
Dia coy yang ngambil clutch shotnya. Aduh.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
And he misses the first one. He wanted that one to fall. And he ends up missing both free throws. So first of the season.
Oh, segini aja. Pertentuan gitu.
Warrior aku masih.
Anjir. Dia udah
Buah bau anjir sumpah temu ini. Apa dulu kok tapi? Masa aku warrior lagi. Ada kan caranya? Oh ya ada. Ayo apa yuk?
Nih.
Hah? Yakin? Yakin?
Iya.
Oh, gue. Siapa beda Blazersnya? Aldridge sama? Dak deng.
Dim, kalau aduh,
Ini lo kena ini lo. Aldridge?
Robin.
Oh, ada pula ya. Duo ya. Sudah duo ya. Paling jauh cok. Jangan. Ini jauh dah. Anjing nambah jauh.
Kenapa nampak yang ini mana?
Aku be kaget.
Tak masuk tadi tu.
Aku jelekan tapi. Ada siapa di sini? Yang tak kenal selain Bugi.
Bambuan sih.
Lah tuh. Lah tuh di sini anjing. Gila, jangan jauh-jauh nih. Anjing jauh nih. Jauh. Apalagi Clippers. Ini Caknyol enggak perlu jauh. Enggak apa-apa lah. Ada rondo.
Hi and welcome. This is Damon Bruce,
Kan
and you're
lagu.
watching 2K Sports.
Copyright.
Wednesday.
Now a chance to check out our starting
Solo
lineup.
carry ini saya.
First for Portland, Lillard and
Samo. Bas.
Matthews pair up in the back. And playing at the center position, one of the Lopez twins out of Stanford, 7-foot banger, Robin Lopez.
Anjir langsung
Then
dem
there's
time.
Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the power forward position. And then for the Boston Celtics, speedy backcourt of Rondo and Brown. And it's Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, a 7-footer with inside-outside offensive skills in the middle at center. He's thrilled for this one. Everyone will be watching now how he does in his first NBA official
Anjir kalau
game.
masuk.
And there's Green, and it's Bass at power forward.
Before his injury last season, it was quite clear that while the rest of the Celtics bunch could still hold their own, this would no doubt be Rondo's team moving forward.
Anjir.
And for
Kaget aku
Rondo,
dia
the
itu
Celtics
rilis.
had actually explored
Iya,
trading
dari
in the
Batu.
past. You always hear the rumors he butted heads with Doc Rivers, and
masuk justru
they
gini.
wondered if he was too individualist. Now they hand him the keys.
Well, he's a tremendous player, Rondo, and a guy who can take over a game. And there have been times when he's been a little moody. We've seen him bump officials. He's gotten suspended. And he's gotten into little tiffs with teammates. But I kind of like that feistiness, too, as long as it's channeled in the right way.
Reverse that one.
Karena kita tuh
was
kira
nice,
sampai
real
jauh.
nice.
The agility on display.
Yeah, you love that body control.
Oh, that one had it all, guys. Power and brace. Just beautiful.
Lillard misses.
That's 3 misses to start the game, guys. Does not bode well here early.
And the jam by Rajon Rondo.
Sensing, guys. This game is starting to swing their
Malah
way.
biru dia
To me, it
terus
seems like
aja
they're
bukan
taking
panas.
charge as their league gets more and more comfortable. Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East to middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your
Batu
shoes
mudo ya di sana
and
ya.
the banners hanging over top.
And Nicholas Batum, the bucket on the assist from Lopez.
The thing you notice right off the bat from the statistics, just his 3-point percentage.
Lambat tangan Robin.
It's a combination of things. Good shot selection, his mechanics are solid, and his movement on the perimeter is outstanding.
And he is a persistent defender too, Steve. I mean, even if he gets caught behind on the break, he'll bust his behind to get back into the play and maybe come up with a block at the last second.
You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to...
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Celtics?
They've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
McCollum's checked in for Portland. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Lillard outside. There's the dish to Aldridge. Passes to McCollum. No good on the triple. And here's Boston. They're on a 13-4 run right now.
And the early lead just keeps on growing. Another basket.
And the way they've done it is with an extremely potent inside attack.
It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock. McCollum's got his first basket.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Rondo dishes the pass. This lead pass, and he throws it down.
These teams don't look like they belong on the same court today.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous to have a double-digit lead this early.
Here's McCollum. And it's off from three-point range. Boston leading by 11.
Well, C.J. McCollum out of Lehigh, gifted scorer, able to shoot with range and get a shot off the dribble and attack in transition. He's a high-volume, but also very efficient scorer.
Boston making some changes. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Olynyk. Humphries comes in for Brandon Bass. And it's Wallace in for Jeff Green. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, guys, the head coach for the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. Yes, Kevin, when we talked about this game, he said his concern was how to handle Rajon Rondo. He said, quote, Rondo has no problem getting to the middle of defenses and finding open teammates. We have to make him become more of a jump shooter. Let's see if they can get just that.
Thanks, Doris. Celtics making a switch here. He's checked in. Rondo gets the bucket.
Tidak bohong aku cak homeless people.
His freshman year in high school. Can you believe that?
Tapi badannya nambah seret. Tapi homeless people lagi
Not so though when it came time for the pros. Everybody's interested in him now.
And for good reason. I mean, he actually said that baseball was by far his best sport as a youngster. Played multiple positions, but basketball is his game.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Myers Leonard, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Terrell Wright's checked in for McCollum. And Mo Williams subbed in for Damian Lillard. Good.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically laid.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Gotta love the low post offense. That was beautiful.
Myers Leonard yang nggak main gara-gara salah ngomong pas street.
Boston leading by 15.
Yang itu apa sebut? Kasus
Rondo drives in.
salah ngomong dari
Leonard
street.
brings the double team.
Jangan di sini nyebut.
On the jam by Rajon Rondo.
Ada stream COD ini yang
Especially offensively. What the lead they have already to show.
modern war pokoknya COD lah.
Clark, that is not what's going to keep them in this lead.
Yeah, but from the other perspective, you can see just how much that dunk pumped those players up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I sense a little bit of a momentum shift here.
And right, here we go. And the rejection by Wallace. Rondo against Batum. Rondo kicks to Wallace.
Anjir lepas.
Here's Humphries. Out to lead. It'll count. No good on that last second attempt there. And after just 1 quarter of play. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And for the Celtics here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
It was pretty impressive the way they moved the ball, made the extra pass, and found open shooters for the whole quarter.
Yeah, it's been a complete team effort out there.
Kan aku dari tadi,
Great to
kan Rondo
watch.
dari tadi cuma pasif.
Well, a lot of
Nggak gol.
basketball pundits, so to speak, would like to eliminate lottery pick protection outside the top 3 from trades. They feel it gives teams too strong an incentive to tank. You look at the Blazers last season, they owed their pick to the Bobcats if it was 13th or lower, and they finished the season 8-26 after going 500 at that point. So maybe a little suspicious.
A shot by Batum, no good. Celtics leading by 14. And it's Wallace penetrating.
Rilis.
Batum. Wallace with another miss.
He probably tried to do a little too much there. That was good
Kan
defense.
anjir. Yo kali.
Now the pass to McCollum.
Udah teri.
Foul call. But he didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. It's on Rajon Rondo. Clark going back to the Blazers. They finished the season among the worst defensive teams in the entire league.
And that's where they've got to improve, Kevin. They did a decent job denying looks on the perimeter, but they didn't get blocks or steals, so not a real force defensively. And among the worst in fast break points and points in the paint as well, so they clearly have some areas they can shore up.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Olenek is checked in for Jared Sullivan. Pass comes in for Chris Humphries. Jeff Green is checked in for Gerald Wallace. And it's Avery Bradley in for Rajon Rondo. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Myers Leonard. Here's McCollum. He's got 6.
Kelly Olynyk, a 7-foot junior, actually spent 4 years at Gonzaga, but couldn't crack the rotation early on, so he redshirted during his junior year. And boy, did that pay off. Had a fantastic final year at Gonzaga, and a very skilled big man who has a chance to be pretty good.
Celtics leading by 12. Bradley drives in, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the strike for 2. And Olenek, a tremendous skill level for a 7-footer. Actually played point guard for much of his high school career before that dramatic growth spurt around his junior season in high school club.
Kevin, the growth spurt was 7 inches in 1 year, and I think that's part of why he needed that redshirt year at Gonzaga. You think about it, the way he improved his upside is pretty impressive.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Gentlemen, for Jared Sullinger, drafted to the Celtics last season, it was a great opportunity to learn from one of the best big men ever to play the game in Kevin Garnett. Sullinger said, "You're learning every day, and as you're seeing what he's saying, the game slows down tremendously." Fortunately, Jared not the type to take criticism personally, saying, quote, "Because I had Zach Sullinger as a coach," he says, referring to his father James, who taught him the game. And guys, Garnett praised Sullinger's incredible IQ for the game and no-nonsense demeanor. He's fit right in with the Celtics.
Nice stuff, Doris. Thank you. Stolen by Robinson. Oh, here comes Robinson all alone. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition. Steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Right, guarded by Green. And he crossed body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line.
You think about guys who are purely about catch and shoot, and that's Darrell White. He's got 2 things on his mind when he catches the ball. He's either going to shoot it or pump fake it. But he's really good at both, so you have to honor him.
And the dunk by Olenek. Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Robinson kicks to McCollum. Batum. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Aldridge. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
That whistle got a big response from this crowd, and it is not a favorable one, let's say.
I'll tell you what, the fans can't believe that they made that call.
And as Darrell White's career has continued, Clark has become more and more of a three-point specialist.
I saw him in Allen, that's really what he does is shoot the three, not merely as effective scoring off the dribble, but at 6'9", shoot over most defenders. He's just taking from the rim after sending it through.
We can see which team now has the swagger clock right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's with them.
Yeah, but you don't want to
Wah,
go too much
mustahil,
to get an opponent
mustahil.
either.
Tidak kena
Such
lagi.
a solid
Kalau main
performance
kolom
from
yang
them
sekarang kali lah
inside.
itu.
The rebounding has been terrific.
Step
Yeah,
back.
that's just one of the few things that's gone their way today. You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him.
Bobby
And he had to
bilang
take.
Avery Bradley
Well,
sama-
you know,
Curry
last
sama
season I
Bobby
think
bilang Avery
officially
Bradley.
brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
Aldridge, no luck.
Halo? Ya udah, makanya nggak lagi betul.
Celtics leading by 13. Bradley passes to Lee.
Baca 1-3.
Here's Bass. Robinson with the block.
Look. Ah, baca itu di steal.
Aldridge dishes to Wright with the lead pass.
Oh, anjir.
And McCollum the bucket on the
Aku
assist
dari
by
sini
Wright.
ngebaca itu tuh tidak masuk.
Nggak
That's
masuk,
10
nggak
points for C.J. McCollum.
Tergantung layupnya
And
juga.
back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but not like
Big man yang
Steve
banyak
back in
masuk.
08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past.
Cak Curry yang
Look,
masuk
they've
kan.
hoisted a championship banner, very close to another, but it's just time to move on. And that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
Fantastic dunk.
Nggak
And
masuk.
decided to hang around up there for a while, Kevin.
Well, maybe, he didn't want to land
Nice.
awkwardly. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was a safety move.
Or maybe he just wanted to give the photographers a better angle for the shot. Well, it's been all
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Nggak usah pedikit.
And welcome everyone.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to Boston,
Pasti kan.
Massachusetts. The skyscrapers all lit up overlooking downtown.
What a performance. Just look at the game for Bradley. He has 12 points and a huge helping of assists as well.
Now, he's a maestro, Clark. I mean, the conductor of this offense, putting on a fantastic performance.
And Doris Burke has some for us. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, the huge trade that really overshadowed this year's draft, the blockbuster deal between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics sending out the veteran trio of Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and in return receiving 3 future first-round picks, the right to swap picks in 2017. For the Celtics, a tough but realistic decision to begin the rebuild process. For the Nets, an all-in attempt to win a title. Guys, it sent shockwaves throughout the league, and we'll just have to wait to see how it all shakes out.
They've got probably the best team in franchise history. We'll see where they go next.
Jeff Green, drafted out of Georgetown by the Celtics back in 2007. Actually never played a game for them. Was traded to Seattle in exchange for Ray Allen. But in 2011, Boston reacquired him in exchange for Kendrick Perkins. So it's come full circle for the young man, and I think he's starting to find his groove as an NBA player.
And for Jeff Green in Seattle, then Oklahoma City playing alongside Kevin Durant. Green, Steve, ended up at the power forward position, and I thought he was thriving with Boston.
Yeah, I like that position for him, actually, because when you put him at the small forward, offensively, he's limited. You put him at the 4, now he can drive right around his man and use his speed and quickness. But defensively, he can guard pretty much anybody out there size-wise.
The basket counts and one. They'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Rejected by McCollum. Now here is Aldridge. Tight defense on him. Lillard, right side. Fires the 3. And Boston with the rebound. Stolen by McCollum. Aldridge. Feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Aldridge has got 6.
Good defense. I love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Boston leading by 19.
You know, at 33 and 49 on the season last year, the Blazers were well below 500, but they were a 500 team against the Eastern Conference.
Portland's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Three-pointer, Lillard gets it to go. Lillard's got 6 points in the quarter.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Of course, they have to stay hot. But if they do, I think you're right, Clark. Particularly if they can convert defense into offense.
Portland, as you said, was 500 against the East last season. They were 15 up and 15 down. You know, you look at how other teams with that record fared against the East, and Steve, 500 isn't bad.
Well, usually when you finish 16 games under 500 for the season, as the Blazers did, you don't go 500 against either conference. But you know, they happen to just have a good matchup apparently with a lot of their Eastern opponents, and they did pretty well.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Olynyk. Humphries comes in for Brandon Bass. And it's Wallace in for Jeff Green.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Bradley against Lillard. And the Trailblazers, another three.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But if the defense isn't making them earn it, I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
For the three, and the Trailblazers, another three.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the three-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You got to run those guys off the line.
I agree, and the defense is practically giving them those shots, though.
Gets it to go.
Rondo with a nice dish.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. And Portland making a change here. Batum's checked in. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Williams kicks to Lillard. It's stolen by Rondo. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
And the foul called on Myers. That is his first foul of the game. Celtics leading by 16. Rondo drives in. Here's Humphries. Kicks to Sullinger. The Celtics working the ball around now. Rondo passes to Wallace. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. That's now 8 points for Wallace.
Everything's falling now, and this lead continues to increase.
Yeah, it's just way too hard to keep up with a scoring pace like this. I mean, and that's why the defense is having a tough time.
Hook loose. And now Lillard pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Looking to end the run. Leonard dishes to Batum. Outside Rondo. And the slam. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Celtics.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive. Attacking and coming away with steals.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. And they really run the break well.
Here's Sullinger. Finishes the puck with a shot.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started, and a better job finishing it off.
Batum attacking. He passes to Leonard. Rejected by Humphries. Williams kicks to Lillard. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backcourt.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Clark. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
McCollum's checked in for Portland. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Wallace. And again, Buxton with the triple.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist number. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Lillard from outside.
Habis lah.
But they'll get another chance. And Leonard gets it to go. Here's Humphries. And it's Rondo penetrating. Bradley And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It goes on C.J. McCollum. For Boston, they have gone just 4 of 8 from the line tonight, hoping to move that free throw percentage up a bit.
Well, you look back at a season ago, this is a club that made 78% of its shots.
Ya tangan tuh jangan jahil lah maksud aku tuh.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season. And that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
Back to Leonard. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Leonard's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Portland. Crawford passes to Brooks. To the middle. And Jared Sullinger, the bucket on the assist by Brooks. And that's 10 points for Jared Sullinger. And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups. Steve, more of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
And Portland making a change here. Matthews is checked in. Inside is Sullinger. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
That was embarrassing. They've had the hotter hand in the first half so far, no question.
Yeah, it's because of all the high percentage shots they've been working for and getting.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Boy, you talk about a franchise having some terrible luck with injuries. Portland is certainly that team. A lot of emerging stars in Rip City have had their careers and tenure cut short because of injury. And the injury bug, once again, reared its head for Portland.
A different look now for Portland. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Myers Leonard. White comes in for Craig. And Damian Lillard subbed in for Mo Williams. Rondo dishes.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
Right now, they don't seem to have an answer for the outside game this second half.
Rondo against Lillard. Rondo kicks to Bradley. No good off the front iron.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that. Wes Matthews was undrafted out of Marquette back in 2009. But he ended up not only making the team in Utah, but starting as a rookie for the Jazz. He solidified himself as a quality wing in this league, and he's a tough defender who can make the outside shot, and you always know what you want to get from him at both ends of the floor.
That's good. And that's now 17 points for Wallace.
I love it when a player like this shakes off a poor first half and comes back strong like he has, showing a lot of confidence in his game.
There's the bucket. Good. And Clark, you talked about the toughness for Wes Matthews until last season. You know, Steve, he had never missed a game.
250 straight games to start his career. He's battled through pain, but he always tried to get the job done for his teammates. One of my favorite players in the league, just a tough, physical player who can knock down threes. Somebody you want on your squad.
His dad played in the NBA for a while.
That's right.
You know, it's always strange to see how a team will react when they lose one of their biggest stars. Last season, Celtics were thought to be dead in the water when Rondo tore his ACL, but they actually rallied and went on a winning streak after the injury.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. And Lillard kicks to Matthews. It's stolen by Bradley. And he lays it up and in.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Well, Clark, as you said with Rondo and the Celtics, they would go on to win the next 7 right after his injury. And overall, Steve played better than expected the rest of the way.
Sometimes that's the way these things go, Kevin. A star player goes down, everybody else kind of steps up. And instead of feeling sorry for themselves, they use it as a rallying cry. And all those role players for Boston really picked up the extra slack. And I thought they made a great push to end that season after the Rondo injury.
And that one's good. Matthews has got 5 points in the quarter.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense. And tack on a few more points to the lead. Why not? I suppose this is an emphatic showing for this club.
And Steve, they did it in style. A beat down the entire way.
Untung aku mencet aku ni untung tak ngangkat dia tadi.
That's foul number 2 for him.
He tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Boston's got a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. No good from Lee. The Trailblazers have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Lillard from outside. Offensive rebound. It's tipped from downtown. And Lee pulls it down.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costing.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's just a flat frustration foul right there.
Boy, down like they are, he just took it out on his opponent. I mean, you got to keep your composure. I don't think that was one of his best moments.
Jared Sullinger's checked in for Boston. Knocked loose. 1:02 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Three-pointer. No good.
And you know, the rebounding edge here has been key because they're getting a lot of extra possessions offensively as a result.
Guys, you're absolutely right. It's made all the difference.
No good from Lee. And for Portland, they're shooting about 45% from the floor in the fourth. Such a wide open look.
And what I like about him, he needs very little time to get his shot off. If he has just a bit of room, that's all it takes. In a catch-and-shoot situation, he's going to let it fly.
And another specialty of his is the 3-ball from the corner. That's his signature shot.
Now, no way you can come back from this deficit.
Just not enough time left on the clock.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Humphreys the pass to Lee. Sullinger dishes to Wallace. That drops.
You got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys. Defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
McCollum kicks to Lillard. No good on the three. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one.
Masih rondu. Yang steal.
Berapa dem 3 point?
7-21. Ini 4/4 anjing China. Siapa sih ini?
Enggak apa-apa.
Oh, star sekali, so. Star sekali. League leader in steal 2006.
Masih main enggak?
Tidak lah, saya. Yang main di Sacramento, Charlotte, Hornets, Brooklyn. Terakhir main di Brooklyn.
Terakhir main di Brooklyn? Bukan terakhir itu di Celtic.
Terakhir sebelum Celtic. Thank you guys yang udah nonton. Masih ada Ucup ya yang udah mampir.
Makasih guys.
Thank you. Melihat kekalahan Dwi. Giliran dia menang tipis.
Jangan balas next time.
Untung udah ada challenge ya.
Untungnya.
Thank you. Stop stream.
Mungkin tak up lagi kalau misalnya.